This Paint Life TV, I'm Chris the Idaho Painter. In this video, I'm going to be talking about and reviewing the Xtend Climb ladder. This is one of those tools that I think is a game-changing tool, something I've carried in all my painting vehicles for quite a few years. I think it's one of the best ladders I've ever used. So if you want to know why I like the Xtend Climb ladder, stay tuned for this video. All right, now I'm going to show you how the telescoping ladder operates. It has a strap that keeps it from coming undone when you're carrying it. It's got a nice soft carrying handle when you're carrying it. Just makes it a little bit more comfortable carrying it. It is a telescoping ladder, so it just ratchets up just like this, locks into place, and it's got buttons right here that just release it so it ratchets down. So you can see how it ratchets up really fast and ratchets down. You can ratchet it up and down to whatever height you want. That's one of the really cool things and what makes that ladder extremely versatile. It's got buttons right here. You can see how quickly you can take and close this ladder back up, wrap your strap around it, and haul it off to the next place you need to go. Now, I like using these ladders when I'm out power washing alone. So I can just throw this in the back of my truck. I can throw my power wash in the back of my truck. Now I can access roofs on houses and stuff very simply and very easily. And I'll show you how quickly it'll ratchet up to get on the roof here. And it just makes it very simple for one man to just go out and do power washing. And there's also some other great benefits about this ladder. Some of the other features about the ladder, I'll show you. This is the Contractor series, and they've done some upgrades to this ladder right here, and they've made the feet a little bit more comfortable by adding this lip on the foot. And so when the ladder's sitting in an angle, you don't have a lot of pressure right here on the edge of the ladder itself. You've got it basically span from this lip to that edge, making it a little bit more comfortable. I never thought the ladder was uncomfortable to begin with, but they made that feature right there, adjustment to the feet, and some people think it's quite a bit more comfortable. So let me show you the bottom of the feet right here. You can use this ladder on slippery surfaces when it comes to tile, hardwood, and stuff like that, because it does have non-slip feet. So I'll show you the bottom right here. It's got rubber non-slip feet. Now, I wouldn't necessarily just trust the rubber on the bottom of the feet. Definitely, if I was on a hardwood floor or a slippery surface, I would use a drop cloth, because you're probably gonna be painting anyways. I would use a non-slip drop cloth, set this onto a non-slip drop cloth. I do know I get a lot of people that feel really uncomfortable on these ladders because of the feet and because of the flex of them. But I've been using these things for quite a few years, probably 10 to 15 years, somewhere in that range. And I've been extremely comfortable on the ladders. Some of the other features about the ladder, the feet themselves. The feet, it's a flat black ladder. It's got kind of a rough surface, so the feet are a non-slick or non-slippery surface on the feet themselves. And I think that's a pretty cool feature of the ladder itself. The ladder does weigh 35 pounds, so I'm not sure if that's a lot of weight to anybody out there, but 35 pounds is not a lot of weight for a ladder this size that extends this size. So you can see how heavy it is basically by moving it around just like that. 35 pounds, pretty light to me. So some of the pluses with this ladder, the compactness. I mean, this thing is going to solve a lot of, or not a lot, but a few problems down the road that you just can't resolve with ladders that don't ratchet down this small. It's very compact, very easy to get around, very easy to extend, very easy to retract. Those are some of the pluses and why I really like this thing. So I do want to talk a little bit about where I use it quite often, and that's when I'm out power washing solo, when I'm painting alone or power washing a house alone. I'm going to be power washing, accessing the roof, because I'm just taking my truck out and a power washer. I usually don't haul out a lot of equipment just to do the power washing. I can take this thing, extend it up really fast. You can see how fast I can get this thing fully extended like that. And then I'll show you how fast I can retract it. And now it's fully retracted. So when you're out power washing, you don't want to get a lot of water on the side rails or these rods or pistons right here, because water will work down inside there and it's really hard for the water to get out. I've made that mistake before. You got to turn the ladder upside down and shake it and stuff. So it's really not ideal to get it really, really wet or work with it in the rain. So that's unlike other ladders, just aluminum extension ladders. It doesn't matter about water and stuff. I'm not sure the damage the water would cause to it, but I've actually worked with them out in the rain and got them super wet power washing, and then it's really hard to raise it up and down with that water in there, and there's always liquid in there. So you want to take, and I've had to take and turn it upside down, shake it, and didn't even let it set upside down for the water to work itself out. So it's not ideal to use these things in wet conditions. I'm using it when I'm power washing, but I'll use it just to get on the house, and then I won't power wash around the ladder itself. Another one of the things that, I would say kind of an issue, but then not that big of a deal, I'll talk about it, is these buttons themselves. The buttons on this specific ladder right here, I've knocked off 2 of the larger buttons on the bottom. I'm not sure what I did. I hit it on something, it knocked the button off, and once the button's knocked off, the ladder doesn't function without that button. I do have to say, I just called up Xtend Climb. Their customer service was amazing. I got somebody on the phone, right away, and they sent me, mailed me 2 more replacement buttons with instructions. It literally only took me about 1.5 minutes to replace that button, and the ladder was functioning again. They sent me an extra one, and it just so happened that I knocked another one off again, and I don't know how I did. I hit it on my truck or something like that, and it knocked that button off, and then I just replaced it once again. I kept that spare button with the instructions, and it really is very simple and easy to do, but those buttons are kind of fragile, so it's one of the things that's, the negative things about the ladder, but it's definitely not to the point where I wouldn't keep these ladders, in my vehicles and have them and use them like all the time. So I do it on my social media because I've used these ladders for quite a few years, and I've talked about them, and a lot of people have seen them. And I do get quite a few people, or I wouldn't say quite a few people, but a few people here and there that say they would be terrified to get on this ladder, and one of them is because of flex. I've had an employee, once a long time ago that was afraid to climb on one, because the ladder actually does flex quite a bit, but it doesn't bother me at all. But when it's fully extended, I'll lean it up against the house. This ladder has some flex and give to it right there, and that could actually scare some people. And then some other people, these buttons right here, what you want to do is when this thing is fully extended, you can actually see a green dot right here. That means this thing is locked, and green means go, that you can climb up the ladder. If it wasn't locked, it could actually ratchet down a rung. If this ladder wasn't safe, it wouldn't be ANSI type 1 rated, for one thing. And I think they would, if people were getting injured and getting hurt on these things, the company would probably be sued and not in business anymore. So I think these things, they've always been extremely comfortable for me to be on. I've never had any type of fears for them. When I first started climbing them, I was like, whoa, that's pretty flexible, but it wasn't an issue to me. I've never been afraid or intimidated to climbing on one of these ladders. I'll show you what that flex looks like when you get on the ladder. I'll get it fully extended, climb up this roof. So you can see once I get in the middle of this ladder, I'm up pretty high, you can see the flex and bounce to this thing. So there's quite a bit of flex, but I feel pretty comfortable on this ladder. I don't feel like the thing's gonna break or collapse. And when it comes to these feet too, I have got on the ladder before and not have these things locked before, engaged where the green dot was showing, and it'll actually ratchet down a half a rung right there, and that kind of catches you off guard. But I've never fallen off this ladder. I've never had an employee ever fall off an Xtend Climb ladder. Never had one injury with one of these ladders ever before. When ratcheting this thing up and down, you do want to make sure when you're ratcheting it down that you don't have your hands right here, because this could come down and actually pinch your hand. I've never once ever pinched my hand releasing these rungs, because I always grab it with my hands on the outside right here, push the buttons, and then release it. So I've never pinched. my hand or injured my hand doing so, but that's just one of those things you should be conscious and aware of when using this ladder. So this ladder, this is the Contractor model. They do, Xtend Climb has all different models. They got more homeowner type models, and you'll see them, there's blue ones, there's green ones, and there's red ones, I believe, and those are more the do-it-yourself type models. This is a heavy-duty Contractor model. So if you've ever used the do-it-yourself models, they seem to have a little bit more flex. They're not going to take as much abuse, day in and day out use, dragging them in and out of a paint truck or trailer. Painters just have a tendency to really abuse their tools, really throw things around and be harsh on them. The plastic on the Contractor model, it's thicker, it's heavier than the do-it-yourself models, so it's definitely going to withstand more abuse. I've had the blue models and I've had the black Contractor models for quite a few years, and this new style, the black ones, definitely hold up a lot longer than the blue ones do. So the ladder itself, it does come with a warranty. There is a 6-month manufacturer's warranty on the ladder. So if there was any manufacturer's defects to the ladder, within 6 months, they're gonna replace it. But I know I've dealt with their customer service before because of the broken buttons, and by email and by phone, and it was very easy to get a hold of the company. There was no questions asked when it comes to the replacement buttons. I didn't have to pay anything for the replacement buttons. They sent them to me for free. And so I got to say their customer service is really good. So when it comes to the cost of these ladders, they range when it comes to the Pro Series or Contractor Series ladders, just depending on the size and the weight capacity you want of the ladder. They range somewhere around $329 to $429. They're going to fall in that range. There's just a lot of different options. Height reaches, you can get them, reaching all the way up to 19.5 feet, extending up that high. You can get them up to a weight capacity of 300 pounds. This one is a 200-pound capacity ladder right here. So I think it's an absolute bargain for these. Once again, I think this is a game-changing tool that's going to solve a multitude of different problems. I use them power washing. I use them in stairwells. I use them regularly on interiors, just because I don't want to drag in an extension ladder inside of a house. This is so much easier to get inside of a door, turn around a corner and stuff. So it's just a wonderful option to have as a professional painter. If you've ever used a ladder like this, let us know what you think about it. Are you comfortable on these things? Let us know down in the comment section below. I've been on these things for, like I say, over 10, 12, 15 years, something like that. And I've always been comfortable on it. I've always felt secure on this ladder. I think they're great, durable ladders. They're not going to last as long as a regular extension ladder, which is almost indestructible. This has got a lot of moving parts on it, components on it. It's got plastic on it, so you can't just drop this thing and bang it around and expect it not to break, but it is pretty durable. So let us know what you think about it, whether you would use it down in the comment section below. We would love to hear your thoughts. And like we always say, hey, once again, we'll see you on our next video. And don't forget, give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video and want to see more tool review videos. Out.